Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. It's time now to review headlines on today's newspapers with the Ombudsman of This Day and Arise Media Group and This Day Newspapers Limited Group Executive Director, Kayode Komolafe. Good morning, Mr. Komolafe.
Good morning, Oji.
Happy Sunday to you.
Same to you.
Another week of conversations on the elections, I bet.
Good morning, KK.
Good morning,
Good
Steve.
morning. All right, we proceed with the review of the newspaper. Of course, as always, with This Day, our sister newspaper, This Day on Sunday, and quite a number of, strong, interesting political stories. The lead here says, INEC admits logistics, technological challenges, others in presidential National Assembly elections. And the Riders says Rex will be held responsible for flawed logistics. Insists beavers will be deployed for governorship state assembly elections. That's INEC admitting that there were issues with last Saturday's election. On top of that story, APC dominates National Assembly with 57 senators, 162 House members. The rider here elected lawmakers to get certificate of return on Tuesday and Wednesday. On top of the masthead, Atiku hails media, U.S. Senator for standing with Nigerians' democracy. That's on page 6 of today's newspaper. And last but not the least is a story on the window. Former Attorney General of the Federation, Anduaka, insists Tinubu must score 25% in FCT to be declared winner. And the Riders say Supreme Court had determined the issue. Ozekome faults INEC for declaring APC candidate winner. I think what the law says, what the Constitution says about how what you need to win 25% of 24 states of the Federation and the FCT. So here we have different legal interpretations of what the Constitution meant. And I think, KK, that we shouldn't leave without, of course, taking a look at the cover picture where it says, congratulations to Mr. President-elect, Chairman Gregu Power PLC, Femi Otedola, with the President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and President Oando Group PLC, Mr. Wale Tinubu, during a visit to congratulate the President-elect. Maybe at some point, Ojinika and KK and some other people can also
as well as Steve Ayorinde.
And also go angry with the President-elect. Those are the stories.
We've seen a picture circulating of his business.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Congratulations are in order for the President-elect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I think you will have more of it, just like I said, in the coming days.
Oh, yes.
Just as those who are disputing the election also have their legitimate right
to
continue to deny it. So for the winner, declared by INEC, I think it is a good time for him to receive as many visitors.
He will receive. He's got a lot of time before May 29th.
Yeah, so that's quite in order.
Yes.
Yep. INEC has done the lead story of this day. INEC has done the rational thing any organization would do in its circumstance. That is, because it's an operation, you do a review. And the essence of a review is to start, apart from the criticisms, legitimate, criticisms of your public, you also do your own internal criticism. So I think the exercise that INEC had over the weekend was that of internal criticism, and pointing out, and there's nothing
like a post-mortem of the whole exercise.
Of the whole exercise. That's why I say it is rational.
Yes.
And it's a very scientific approach. Like I'm saying that in doing this thing, especially people pontificating on beavers and the rest of that, people should also have a philosophically scientific mind. Technologies fail. Technologies, they are not immune to attacks, as it were. There could be sabotage, and there could be errors. There could be error, and there could be also a deliberate attempt to manipulate, technology. So there are a lot of possibilities. So that is why the approach to it should be scientific, And I think INEC, in its own part, is taking a scientific approach to it, and that is why I also think that critics, again, let me emphasize, legitimate critics of INEC should also have a scientific mind, attitude, to it. Not to brandish any form of technology as if it's magic. There is no technology that is magic. There could be problems. The mere fact that you apply it does not mean that you could not have errors. But the thing is, what is important is that lessons should be drawn from the problems that arose in the presidential election, so that we don't have a repeat of it in this week's election, because just like that of the presidential election, the operation also is going to be nationwide.
Yes.
Because if you remember, when you had just elections in just a single state, like in Ekiti,
the off-season elections.
Okay, we didn't have this kind of a problem, but now that you have it, like that is why you are having the problem. So INEC also should prepare that at least this time around, while again, nobody should expect any perfection from any institution. What we should expect is progress.
What do you mean we should not expect perfection?
Because perfection is not human. There is no human operation that is perfect. There is no election.
I think we should expect perfection.
Let me finish. There is no election anywhere. There is no election anywhere that is perfect. American, Western media that are writing editorials or whatever will know that they also have their own, their systems, which are older and the rest, also show symptoms of political immaturity, and problems. So what I'm saying that there is nothing like a perfect election anywhere, and you are not going to have it soon anywhere on the globe. But what is important for rational people is to minimize, errors, and especially obvious errors that can be avoided. Should be avoided, and also to ensure that it is as clean as possible.
Yes.
Especially you don't go out and be fraudulent.
Especially when you have promised to deliver
to deliver on this. But I'm saying that
such promises.
it is not a constructive attitude to expect that because you were interested, you want your candidate to win, then you say you are expecting perfection from me. There's no going. If you bring Oji to be INEC champion tomorrow, she's not going to deliver a perfect election.
But she will deliver on what she has promised.
This is my issue. You have to deliver on what you have promised.
Whatever you must have promised. What I'm saying is that what you should expect, what you should call for is that we should make progress.
Yes.
There should be improvement.
Saturday's selection should be a lot better.
A lot of improvement. The obvious error, the complaints that we had in the presidential, we should not have a repeat of it.
Absolutely.
It should be better.
That's what I mean.
So we shouldn't mystify things. I'm just trying to say that we should not mystify the elections. That's what I'm making.
Mr. Komalafe, we discussed that earlier, especially with personnel.
Yes,
This is the biggest issue. I don't want us to talk much on the beavers because I don't think it's the fact that the beavers was not working. It's the fact that the personnel there were refusing to transmit those results. They were saying, the beavers were, because this is the conversation.
As required by the guidelines.
These were the allegations.
Yes, and that is why Professor Mahmoud has now said that the rest will be held responsible for it.
Anybody
if
found
people
culpable.
are done, there should be sanctioned. There should be consequences. Yes. If people have done things that they should not have done, errors of omission and commission, should be punished. That's what I'm saying.
Because they're saying, how can they say you're uploading the senatorial and the National Assembly elections easily, but the presidential was the issue? What happened there?
Which is why I'm saying that we should not have such errors anymore. And I think that what INEC is doing is right. It is rational, it is scientific, and it's very helpful in the circumstance.
All right.
Now, for the window story,
yes,
the views and you see, before the elections, we had opinion polls. We had opinion polls as to how voters will vote. Voting has taken place for the presidential election now. The realistic thing, as it were now, this matter is now going to be ultimately decided in court at the tribunal.
Yes.
So this is not the time for opinion poll of lawyers. So what these lawyers are just doing they're just expressing their opinion poll. So rather,
no, it's not an opinion poll.
What I'm saying that they're expressing their opinions. I'm saying that
I know what I'm saying.
I'm saying that for those, for every lawyer, that speaks the way Andoaka or Zekome has spoken here, you have another lawyer, speaking in different ways. What I'm saying is that, what is important now is that, for lawyers, who are interested, who have the necessary authorities, in their kitty to prove the case, to get proper briefs from the disputants, those the candidates who are in court to dispute the election, because it's going to be argued there. What I'm trying to say is that you are not going to resolve this election by opinions expressed in any
opinions are important. Informed opinions, especially from legal minds.
Yes.
Anduaka is the former Attorney General of the Federation.
Yes.
Is the senior advocate of Nigeria.
Yes.
The same with Ozekume.
Yes.
If there are others in their position who hold contrary view, they are also obliged to air it.
I am not saying that. I am not saying that. I am not saying that they are not obliged.
So it is useful what they are doing. No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying that they don't have the opinion. Of course, I mean, you can't stop anybody from expressing the opinion.
Absolutely.
But I'm just trying to say that in terms of the way it's resonates in the political psychology of the public, that. You see, that's why I said that for every opinion that they have said, of course, there are for every Anduaka, there will be another person who holds a different behind, which is what makes it. And I'm saying that these are technical issues. I'm saying that I'm making a review, of what they are doing.
Yes.
And I'm saying that what is realistic, I mean, which is I'm only saying the obvious.
Yeah.
That the matter is going to be resolved in the courtroom.
Of course.
Because there are technical issues.
That goes without saying. I mean, yes.
Because you asked for my view. So I'm saying that I'm not in position to say whether what Anduaka or Zekoma has said is right or not, because I'm not a lawyer. There is their fellow lawyers who have it. But I'm just trying to say that in doing so, we should not have this illusion of thinking that the matter is going to be solved by having an opinion poll of lawyers.
Oh, nobody has such
it is for lawyers who are interested to get proper briefs. From candidates who have contested the election and go and argue this case in court.
And it's
because
also the duty
the matter is going to be resolved
of
in
the
court.
Media to inform the people, adequately,
Absolutely.
And present different views.
Yes, and I'm saying that, and also that by the time the cases come for hearing, I think it's also important to know that let us see how the case is argued.
Oh yes, it's going to court.
Because the argument is not going to be in any television studio. It's not going to be on the page on the pages of any newspaper or in any blog. It's going to be in the courtrum. I said that is the theater. For the argument.
The verdict will be reported.
You see, we should not be nursing illusions. I mean, it's important for people to know.
That's what he's against. We shouldn't be nursing illusions or opinions. Opinions are very important.
I am not saying
let's move over to other topics on this day, if there is.
He has dealt with all the issues. Do we have the
this day style? Can we pull up the this day style if we have that? The picture story there. Kofo Akinkugbe. OON. Yes. Breaking barriers in tech. Now, she is a prize-winning mathematician and is the MD of Secure ID, a leading indigenous manufacturing smart card and identity document firm in Nigeria, and the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa. I love it that she is on the cover. This month we are celebrating International Women's Day. Amazing to see that she is, such a visionary. And she's well respected worldwide for her successful entrepreneurial story, which started, they say, when she took the bold step to leave the banking industry after 12 years to look for other opportunities that would give her time to raise her young children. She is also a mother. Congratulations to Mrs. Kofo.
All right, that's a great one.
And it's quite topical, just like Oji said.
Yes.
March 8th is the International Women's Day. And that is the day you have deep reflections, on the woman question.
Absolutely.
What's expected of men on International Women's Day?
You have to celebrate
solidarity, yes.
Absolutely, I love that solidarity, and also to celebrate. Make sure that you get flowers
because
for a woman,
gender oppression is
which part?
Gender oppression is part of our reality.
I think
it's physiology.
A woman.
So gender oppression is an issue in Nigeria, and also when you also talk of diversity, people think diversity is just Christian, Muslim, or Yoruba flag. Another diversity is gender diversity. know,
yes,
not addressed. You know.
absolutely.
So that is an occasion for us, you know,
Okay.
to reflect, you know, on it.
March 8th.
So the
March
women,
8th.
they deserve your solidarity. You
Okay.
know,
We should
in addressing
solidarize with them.
Yes, you know,
Yeah.
and fight against the oppression,
Okay.
you know, against the of the female
Yes.
gender. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Oji
this
spoke
thing-
about flowers.
Yeah,
and
by the,
I did,
by the,
I did
by the,
speak
by the
about
way,
flowers. He's still
I'm a
ignoring
male
you, by the
feminist,
way.
yeah.
Yes, he
You're
is
a
a
what?
feminist.
I'm
I
a
told
male
you.
feminist. Yeah.
A male feminist.
Yes,
Oh, you're a male feminist.
I'm a male
I didn't-
feminist.
Who is a male feminist?
He said he's a male feminist.
Who is a male?
Someone who
what does it
I am
mean?
male, of course. You know that.
No,
I
know, of
I'm a
course.
man. I'm a man. Yes, no.
So
And
you-
I'm telling you that I also believe.
Okay,
I
let me help you.
I'm convinced. You know, you know about
the concept of feminism.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm a
He's
male.
man,
I'm a male.
He's a man that
I'm a male
identifies.
womanist. No. I'm a male womanist.
Oh, you don't identify with feminism.
I prefer
Feminist.
womanism.
You don't? Oh, womanism. You have to
Yeah.
identify with feminism as well if you prefer womanism.
Is under womanism.
It is. Okay, perfect. So womanism is the umbrella right there. All right? Is that what you, Steve? Steve
what I'm
has,
saying.
has gotten it. And you
Can we go to
now let me tell you.
The guy is being mischievous.
Can we go to the Sunday Punch
Embrace
very
equity
quickly?
again is
March
the theme
Thank you.
of
That-
embrace
embrace
equity.
that is the word.
Is the
That's a good
theme
one. Okay.
Gender
of
equity,
international-
gender equity, yeah,
Absolutely.
and gender justice, yeah.
Okay.
That's important.
All right.
As a
let's
male
begin.
womanist, I'll bear that in mind. So we go to the Sunday Punch. The lead here says governorship election, presidential poll results put pressure on Ikpeazu, Sanwo-Olu, Makinde, Okowa, El-Rufai, others. Lagos, Delta, Oyo, Kaduna, Katsina governors in door-to-door campaigns. INEC insists on beavers for Saturday poll, says result portal ready. A few other interesting stories. On top there, my plan to leave Nigeria after Tinubu's victory on course. That's Bode George, the godfather of PDP in Lagos State. Banks await instruction on old Naira notes recirculation. Of course, that's coming after the, the judgment.
Absolutely. Why don't we take that with the cover of this day?
Yes,
of Daily Trust. Oh, actually, this was on Saturday.
Do you want to look at the Tribune?
If we can look at the Tribune, what does it
Because
say?
it goes with
Traders
this.
defy Supreme Court, reject old Naira notes. If you can pull up the Sunday Tribune there, this goes with that. And
think
the
the
writer
writers explain
says we'll
what-
collect them when Emefiele decides. Well, federal government, CBN, keep numb. Akeredolu demands implementation of judgment. Now, that is the main topic here, implementation of judgment. I believe we had Pa Adebanjo, I believe on Friday, talking about the fact that, the federal government have been, an adamant disrespecter of the rule of law. How do you think this will go? This will play, Mr. Komolafe.
Yeah, thank you. I think the lawyer of the federal government,
Yes.
former Attorney General
Kanu Agabi.
Kanu Agabi, said it like that his clients
We comply. Comply.
So if you ask me on Agabi,
We stand.
Yes, because he's their lawyer. He has
On
argued their
Agabi's
case
postulation, we
as
stand.
brilliantly as he could.
Yeah.
And he said it quite clear.
Yeah.
As a lawyer. Of course, one does not expect him to say anything. Otherwise,
Yes.
that his clients will know. But then, it is not good enough that days after the Supreme Court rule, you don't have the federal government, taking immediate steps to be complying, with the rule. But let us hope that as work resumes tomorrow, we'll hear from the federal government.
Because the bank, it makes a lot of sense to say that they are waiting instruction on old Naira notes recirculation from the CBN.
Of course,
that clear-cut instruction, the blame can go to either the banks or to the market women and artisans who say, we don't know what you are talking about.
No,
I agree with you.
There's been a lot of poll on traders. They are not collecting the old Naira notes. I will tell you now, forget about
They're
it.
not?
Yeah, we've sent people in the marketplaces. They are not collecting the old Naira notes. That's what they've decided. Even at restaurants, they don't want the old Naira notes because they don't.
The old Naira notes are jinxed. That's what
they're
saying.
Yes, completely. That is what they're saying. If we go by the polls that we've conducted so far.
But we should not conduct polls that will show that the Supreme Court
there is no compliance.
That the judgment of the Supreme Court will be treated with contempt.
No, I don't think that's what she's saying.
No, that
would be a recipe for anarchy.
We are reading what the
Nigeria is not a
headline
jungle.
is saying.
Nigeria is not a jungle. when the Supreme Court rules,
Yes.
you know, one expects
That's right.
all individuals, organizations,
Yes.
all powers in Nigeria, you know, to obey, you know. So that, I mean, there's no shortcut. That's why I'm just, you know, quoting
Absolutely.
yes, you know,
that
said
his
his
clients,
clients,
the federal
you know,
government. Yeah.
My only worry now is that it has taken so long because I expected that immediately that, you know, given
That was on Friday.
yes on Friday, yes, on Friday, you know, given the speed, you know, that the federal government, you know, and central bank, you know, in imposing the Naira confiscation, you know,
Yes.
you know, on the people, you know, and the hardship.
Yeah.
That really, given the fact that this thing is, you know, has caused so much of economic, disruption, you know, and almost killing the informal sector of the economy.
Yes.
That it should have been an instant response.
Yes.
That the statement should have come from the Attorney General.
Absolutely.
You know, so that
You're
so
right.
that we informing the central bank
You're
government,
right.
and something should be
You're
done.
right.
So it shouldn't have taken this. Now, well, maybe.
The reality, though,
Maybe
is
it's better late than never.
Never.
So one only expects that this week the federal government will comply with the Supreme Court judgment.
they just need to make the announcement, but that won't take away the reality
Yeah.
that the whole Naira notes will carry the cross of that terminal disease because by the end of the year, they will no longer be useful.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will think, hey, why do I need to struggle
Why?
for old
Why
Naira
do
notes
I
when
need-
I can have the new one?
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, that's human beings and how they will react to it.
Okay, I see the point you are making. now.
Absolutely.
All right.
So thank you so
Thank you
much, KK.
very much,
It's a
Mr.
short time
Komolade.
today, but
Great
it
to
was
be here.
rich and
Very impactful.
Great to be-
interesting.
great to be here. Thank you so much.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you.